My wife's sister convinced her to pretend she wanted a divorce as a wake-up call to make me a better husband. Their scheme completely backfired when I hired a lawyer and filed the papers myself. I'm 34, married to Sabrina for 5 years. We had what I thought was a solid marriage. Joint finances, shared chores, future plans together. Sure, we weren't sending lovey texts every hour anymore, but I figured that's normal after the honeymoon phase. 2 months ago, Sabrina started acting completely different. She'd make comments about feeling unfulfilled and questioning if we got married too young. At first, I thought maybe she was having some kind of crisis, so I tried to be supportive. But it escalated fast. She started saying she regretted not staying single longer, that our marriage felt like a business arrangement instead of romance. She talked about needing a trial separation to rediscover herself and figure out what she really wanted. I was absolutely destroyed. This woman I'd vowed to spend my life with was telling me she felt trapped. I couldn't sleep, couldn't focus at work. My manager noticed I seemed stressed and suggested I take personal time. I started having full-blown panic attacks. My parents kept asking what was wrong because they could see how wrecked I was. My dad even offered to talk to Sabrina himself. The whole thing was humiliating because I'd always bragged to friends about how well we worked together. Meanwhile, Sabrina seemed to be thriving during this crisis. She was constantly out with her sister Janice and her divorced friends, posting photos at bars and spa days. She'd come home talking about how liberating it felt to consider other life paths. I was walking on eggshells, desperately trying to save our marriage. I started bringing her flowers randomly, planning surprise date nights, suggesting couples therapy. I even consulted with a divorce lawyer just to understand my options if she actually left me. The emotional roller coaster was killing me. Some days she'd be affectionate and give me hope. Other days she'd talk about independence after hanging out with Janice. I was analyzing every word, every mood change, trying to figure out what she was really thinking. Then last week, Janice's drunk ex-husband Marvin called me out of nowhere. He was rambling about how impressed he was with Janice for finally teaching Sabrina how to handle a husband and how their strategy was working perfectly. I had no clue what he meant, so I pressed for details. That's when he spilled everything. The entire marriage crisis was completely fake. Janice had convinced Sabrina that the best way to get me to be a more romantic husband was to make me think I might lose her. They'd planned out exactly what Sabrina should say to make it seem genuine. According to Marvin, Janice had been monitoring my behavior through Sabrina and celebrating every sign that I was getting more desperate. They thought it was hilarious that I'd started bringing flowers and planning dates to prove my commitment. I hung up and sat in my garage for hours, processing this betrayal. When Sabrina came home, I confronted her with what Marvin had told me. She immediately broke down crying and admitted everything. She said it started as a simple plan to motivate me to be more romantic, but it escalated beyond what she intended. Janice had convinced her our marriage was getting stale, and I was taking her for granted. I never meant for it to go this far, she sobbed. I was planning to end it soon. The fake crisis actually made me realize how much I love being married to you, but I was done. You put me through months of emotional torture to test how much effort I'd put into our marriage, I told her. If you wanted more romance, you could have just talked to me. Every conversation we'd had was based on lies. When she cried about feeling trapped, she was acting. When she talked about regretting marriage, she was following Janice's script to deliberately hurt me. I looked her dead in the eyes and said, "Congratulations, you motivated me perfectly." Then I handed her the divorce papers I'd already filed that morning. Her face went completely white. "But I don't actually want a divorce," she screamed. "Too bad," I said calmly. "I do now. You wanted to see how I'd react to losing you? Well, now you get to find out for real." The woman who'd spent months pretending she wanted out was now begging me to stay. But some things you can't take back.